Hey there, movie fans. This time I'd like to show you my Criterion collection. And as you can see here, I put all of my Criterion DVDs in this tower. There used to be some other stuff, as you know, but now it is a Criterion / director tower. You can see it's a box set of various kinds of director: Billy Wilder, Kubrick, Hitchcock, and Scorsese, and one producer, by the way, Val Lewton. But this is about my Criterions, and I will show you my Criterion DVDs first, and after that I will show you my Criterion Blu-rays, including 3 new titles which I received a couple of months ago. But anyway, we'll start up here with the box set. This is of course the John Cassavetes 5 films box set. This has a Blu-ray release recently, but I'm not going to double dip on that. I mean, I'm happy with this box set anyway. This is the Great Adaptations box set. 4 films by David Lean, Peter Brook, and Suchak and Pitchell. Great Expectations. These are the ones that David Lean directed, along with Oliver Twist. Lord of the Flies and The Most Dangerous Game. I'd like to get Lord of the Flies on Blu-ray. I mean, only for that cover. I mean, that cover looks absolutely beautiful. Next is Akira Kurosawa 4 Samurai Classics. This has 7 Samurai, The Hidden Fortress, Yojimbo, and Sanjuro. These are the original out-of-print DVD releases. Here's another Samurai box set, Rebel Samurai, 60s swordplay classics. And these are all great films as well. Here you have Samurai Rebellion by Masaki Kobayashi. Damn, what's wrong with me? Toshiro Mifune is in this one, as you can see. The other ones are Sword of the Beast, Samurai Spy, and Kill. And this is, as it says here, an Italian Western influence samurai film. And if you see the movie, you can clearly tell this is very much influenced by spaghetti westerns. But it's a lot of fun. These are all great films, by the way. Next is Ingmar Bergman 4 Masterworks, which includes Smiles of a Summer Night, The Seventh Seal, Wild Strawberries, and The Virgin Spring. The Virgin Spring is really my favorite one of these 4 movies. I like it better than the Seventh Seal, to be honest with you. And this is also the film that inspired Wes Craven when he did Last House on the Left, believe it or not. But these are all great films. And this is really my most precious and rarest Criterion box set. Wrong Man and Notorious Women, 4 Hitchcock thrillers. This one has The 39 Steps, The Lady Vanishes, Rebecca, Spellbound, and Notorious. This box set goes for crazy money. These are all, out of print releases. The whole box set is out of print, of course, and it goes for crazy money, I've heard, so I'm very happy to have this. I got this when it was still available, and very happy to have this, of course. Now the next row are kind of special editions. These are digipacks and all. The first one is Battle of Algiers, without a doubt one of the most important films of all time, by Gillo Pontecorvo. This is one of, or at least this is Paul Greengrass's favorite film, and I understand why he loved this film very much. I mean, it looks very real. It looked like a documentary, and if you look at Paul Greengrass's films like Bloody Sunday, for example, that looks very real, like a documentary. So, it's quite understandable why he was, why he loved this film, why he was inspired with this one. And the complete Mr. Arkaden, aka Confidential Report by Orson Welles. Beautiful set. This is The Rules of the Game by John Renoir. I believe this one is out of print as well. Videodrome by David Cronenberg. This has the the Betamax thing on it. You can see there. Great release. This is a beautiful film, The Bicycle Thieves by Vittorio De Sica. Beautiful film, a beautiful release as well. Breathless by Jean-Luc Godard. This is a groundbreaking film, and Godard is really one of the reinventors of cinema. You know, Godard, along with other filmmakers like François Truffaut and Eric Rohmer, they come up with the new, or the French New Wave, and they made films that really broke Hollywood rules, and this is one of the first one that did that, or at least I believe this was the first one that did that. You know, it has techniques that you've never seen before, like quick editing, you know, jump cuts, handheld camera work, actors looking into the camera and talking into the camera. You know, nowadays we are used to those kind of techniques, but at the time it was something new, it was something different, and it was something that has never been done before. And Godard was, you know, one of the guys who was responsible for that. The Furies, Anthony Mann Western with Barbara Stanwyck. Excellent film. The Human Condition. This is the trilogy. I still have not seen this one. I still need to find a time to watch this film, because just take a look at how long this film is. Or it's actually 3 movies, you know, it's a trilogy. But take a look at the running time there. 574 minutes long. I really need to find the time to watch all of them. The Last Emperor by Bernardo Bertolucci. Another great film. Pandora's Box. Great silent film. The Third Man. I wish I grabbed the Blu-ray. The Blu-ray is now out of print, and I should have gotten the Blu-ray. You know, Criterion does not have the rights anymore because it went to, I believe it went to Universal. Yeah, I think it was. But I should have been getting the the Blu-ray, but it's now out of print, and it goes for very insane prices. And the last one is this row anyway, Vampire, a wonderful set as well. And now we're gonna go for the regular editions. This is Alphaville by Godard. I could not really get into the film, to be honest, but it is a very interesting film. But I need to check this out again. Armageddon. This is, you know, without a doubt the black sheep of the Criterion Collection. The most un-Criterion title there is. You know, it's I don't know. It's an entertaining movie, but it should never have gotten a Criterion treatment. You know what I mean? Brazil by Terry Gilliam. This is the original release. I still want to get this on Blu-ray as well. Hardboiled. Now this is the original DVD. There is a lot of bootlegs out there that looks very much like you know, the original one, but there is a website where you can check if this is original or not, and I checked it, and this is the original, and I'm very happy to have this, of course. Unfortunately, I don't have The Killer, you know, the other John Woo film, but I have it on another DVD. Insomnia. This is the original Swedish version. I believe this is the Swedish version. Yeah, it is. Norwegian and Swedish. No, anyway, the original Scandinavian version. I think that's better to say it. The Red Shoes by Power and Pressburger. Love this film. I also have this on Blu-ray. RoboCop, the Criterion Collection. Paul Verhoeven, director's cut. The Bad Sleep Well. I recently saw this and I loved it. So it was absolutely great. It was also this is also part of this box set. 25 films by Akira Kurosawa. Got this from my great friend Gavin, as you all know. But the reason why I still kept this is because this has some special features, and this box set doesn't have any special features at all. So that's why I'm having this one. Black Narcissus, also have this on Blu-ray. It's a personal favorite of mine. It looks absolutely beautiful visually. The Blub, with Steve McQueen there. A Canterbury Tale. My least favorites of the Power and Pressburger work, but it's still worth it. Le Cercle Rouge by Melville. I absolutely love Melville. I think he's a great director. This is a great film. Charade. This is a wonderful film. A wonderful, charming film. I also want to get this on Blu-ray as well. I actually did something very, very stupid. I saw the remake first. The remake is called The Truth About Charlie with Mark Wahlberg. And when I finally saw Charade, I already knew what the twist was. So I still regret it to this day. I will always regret it, but because this is so much better than the remake. I mean, the remake was okay, but this is much, much better. Chasing Amy by Kevin Smith. Equinox or Equinox. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Terry Gilliam. Grand Illusion. This is the first Criterion, as you can see here on the spine. I'm afraid it doesn't get focused here, but you can see the number on the spine here. That's number 1. But I do not think that this is the original DVD, because of the it has a different type of lettering. If this was the original, it would have the same different type of lettering as this. So I guess this is a re-release, but nonetheless, I'm still happy to have this. Haxan, a silent Swedish horror film. I still have to see this movie. Ikiru by Kurosawa, beautiful film. And this is another Kurosawa masterpiece, Kashimusha. The ending is magnificent, by the way. Kwaidan, Kobayashi film, the same director as The Human Condition. This is a fantastic Japanese horror anthology. Unfortunately, the transfer on this DVD isn't really that wonderful. I have the UK DVD of this, and the transfer on that is really gorgeous. But I'm hoping that the Criterion will release this on Blu-ray. Next is The Last Temptation of Christ by Martin Scorsese. This is a great one. Man Bites Dog, great film from Belgium. Naked Lunch by David Cronenberg. Onibaba, another Japanese film. It's kind of like a psychological horror film. Pick Up on South Street by Samuel Fuller, pretty good film. There's another Kurosawa masterpiece, Ron. Love this film. Absolutely love this. And here's another great one by the master, Rosamond. And this is, in my opinion, one of his most underrated films, Redbeard. Great film, this one. Rififi. Now this is getting a Blu-ray release in January, and I'm very happy, about that news, because I'm definitely going to get it. I absolutely love this film. This is a fantastic heist film by Jules Dassin, and Jules Dassin is one of those filmmakers who got blacklisted in the early 1950s during the un-American a committee of un-American activities. I believe that was what it was called. Senator Joseph McCarthy committee of un-American activity. It's communist hunt and all that. Many actors and filmmakers got blacklisted, and Dassin was one of them. And he went to Paris after he got blacklisted, and it was the first film that he made there. And some say it's also one of his best, or his best film. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the Blu-ray. This is a brilliant film. This is another Michael Bay movie, The Rock. I still think this is his best movie, by the way. Yeah, I really like The Rock. Le Samurai. This is a personal favorite of mine. Very influential. I mean, a film like Drive, for example, you can clearly tell that is influenced by this film. Terrific film. Sisters by Brian De Palma. Solaris by Tarkovsky. Very long film, but a very fascinating film as well. Spartacus. Great film. Straw Dogs by Sam Peckinpah. This is a magnificent film. I also saw the remake. It was okay, but it cannot beat the original. Stray Dog, another Kurosawa treasure. The Sword of Doom. It was a very good but very unusual samurai film. The Tales of Hoffman. I still need to see this. I almost saw it at one point, but something else came up and I could not see it anymore, so still need to find the time to watch this one. Touche Pao Kibi, something like that. Jacques Becker. This is a pretty good French crime film. Traffic, great film by Steven Soderbergh. Umberto D by De Sica, beautiful film. The Vanishing by George Sluizer. Oh man, the ending, that fucking ending, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. Here is The Waves of Fear. I also like to get this on Blu-ray. An excellent film, this one. Young Mr. Lincoln by John Ford. Beautiful film with Henry Fonda as Abraham Lincoln before he became president. That was during his years as a lawyer. Ace in the Hole. This is next to Witness of the Prosecution, my favorite Billy Wilder film. Billy Wilder got all of the creative freedom that he wanted, and he came up with this masterpiece. I mean, this is truly a magnificent film. Go check it out if you haven't. A very daring, very controversial film from Wilder. Army of Shadows, another Melville masterpiece. Brute Force. This is one of the American films by Jules Dassin. You know, the one who did Rififi. I still need to get the other ones, like Night in the City and Thief's Highway. I still have not seen those movies yet. Todesca Den. This is one of the few Kurosawa films that I still need to check out. Europa by Lars von Trier. I thought it was terrific. It's still my favorite von Trier film, to be honest. The Friends of Eddie Coyle. La Haine. Ji Goku. This is a very unusual Japanese horror film. And there's this long sequence that takes place in hell. And it's very unusual, very strange, but very, very good. I mean, go check this out. If you like, you know, the early Japanese horror films that are a little weird, go check this out. This is really good. And by the way, Nobuo Nakagawa is, you know, he's being called the godfather of Japanese horror, or the father of Japanese horror film, as you can see there. So yeah, go check this one out if you love Japanese horror. The Milky Way by Louis Buñuel. Night Train to Munich. Robinson Crusoe on Mars. Shortcuts by Robert Altman. The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. This is a pretty good one. Pretty good film. The Thief of Baghdad. White Dog by Samuel Fuller. And this is the only Eclipse set that I have. The first film of Samuel Fuller, which includes I Shot Jesse James, The Baron of Arizona, and The Steel Helmet. So those were my DVDs, and now let's take a look at my Criterion Blu-rays. And as you can see, I put them all on one shelf because I mean, just look at this. It goes on and on and on and on. It's insane, doesn't it? I have so many of them. Anyway, I'm gonna start up here with Hitchcock's The 39 Steps. These are one of the Criterions that I got from Gavin, Lord Gigolo 5150. Thanks again for that. That was an epic package, as you all know. Francois Truffaut's The 400 Blues. Beautiful film. This is a great box set. Your Criterion collection is not complete without this one. America Lost and Found, the BBS story. This contains Head, which is a very weird but very fun film with the Monkees. You know, the Monkees were this popular group from the 1960s. Easy Rider, classic one. 5 Easy Pieces. Drive, He Said. I believe this is Jack Nicholson's. Well, I don't know if this is his directorial debut. I believe it is. Jack Nicholson wrote this and he directed this. I believe this was his first time as a director. A Safe Place, The Last Picture Show, and The King of Marvin Gardens. A truly magnificent box set there. Anatomy of a Murder. Antichrist by Lars von Trier. Really good one. And these are one of the ones that I purchased a couple of months ago. Badlands by Terrence Malick, his first film. Never saw it before, and of course I have seen it now and absolutely loved it. Being John Malkovich. This is the Blu-ray of Black Narcissus. Beautiful film. The transfer looks amazing. Blowout by Brian De Palma. Carlos. This is actually a mini-series about Carlos the Jackal. A great one as well. And this is Che. with Benicio del Toro as Che Guevara. Guillermo del Toro's first film, Kronos. And this is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button. And this is the only Blu-ray release that I know that has the the blue keep case. Dazed and Confused. Love this film. Great film. This is the second new Criterion Blu-ray that I got. Devil's Backbone, also by Del Toro. And this has a very appropriate spine number, 666. You can see there. Great film, by the way. This is really, next to Pan's Labyrinth, a magnificent film by Del Toro. Diabolique. This is also a brilliant film. The Game. I saw about the glare, by the way. There's nothing I can do about that. Gate of Hell. Now this was a beautiful film. I thought the transfer looks absolutely gorgeous. I mean, my compliments to the guys who made the who restored this film. The transfer looks amazing. King Kong. I want to say King Kong. I'm an idiot. Godzilla, of course. I was expecting a very cheesy movie, but it turns out to be a very serious movie, and I loved it. It was great. I haven't seen the American version yet, though. This is also part of the set. Harakiri, another Kobayashi masterpiece. House. This is absolutely insane. A very weird, insane movie, but very enjoyable. Island of Lost Souls, based on the island of Dr. Moreau. The Killing by Kubrick also includes Killer's Kiss. Kiss Me Deadly, this is a great one. Strange film noir thriller, but a great one. I love the ending as well. This is a beautiful film, The Leopard by Visconti with Burt Lancaster. Letter Never Sent. The Magician by Ingmar Bergman. You can see him there. Yeah, I'm sorry about the glare. The Man Who Fell to Earth by Nicholas Roeg with David Bowie. A strange film, but a great one as well. Ministry of Fear by Fritz Lang. This has to be one of the greatest debut films of all time. The Night of the Hunter, the first and only film that Charles Laughton has directed. It's a shame, he should have directed more films. A Night to Remember, Titanic movie. And this is the other film that I purchased on the waterfront. A great release, and what a great film this is. Marlon Brando is just phenomenal in this film. Paris, Texas, visually very stunning. Very beautiful film. And I also have to say that I have to give a plus to the director of photography, Robbie Miller, as you can see him there. They call him the best cameraman from the Netherlands, and I totally agree. I mean, his work is just astonishing. And, he also worked on other films with Wim Wenders, and he also worked with Jim Jarmusch on Dead Man, for example. Great cameraman. Paths of Glory by Stanley Kubrick. The Phantom Carriage. Here we go. Red Desert by Michelangelo Antonioni. The Red Shoes. Rosemary's Baby. The Samurai Trilogy. This was a great trilogy, by the way. I absolutely love this. There's another film that I love, Visconti Senso with Farley Granger. You might remember him from Robe and Strangers on a Train, the 2 Hitchcock movies that he did. Seven Samurai, Kubrick masterpiece. Kurosawa masterpiece. I used to have the DVD set, but I gave that to Gavin. He never saw Seven Samurai before. Shallow Grave by Danny Boyle. Shock Corridor. I still need to get the other Samuel Fuller movie, Naked Kiss. Sweet Smell of Success. I absolutely love movies with very sharp and edgy dialogue, and this is one of the best of its kind. There's another fantastic Malick film, The Thin Red Line, and this is the 3 Colors box set by Krzysztof Kieślowski. I've only seen the first 2, Blue and White. Still need to see Red, but I love Blue. Blue was a wonderful film. White, I liked it as well, but it wasn't as good as Blue. Get in there. This was such a great film. 3 Outlaw Samurai. As you know, I love Japanese samurai films, and this was just an incredible film. I only wish that they did a sequel to this, because I really liked the 3 main characters, and I wish they did a sequel, or better yet, a series of sequels, like like Satoichi or Lone Wolf and Cub. But unfortunately, it's just one film. But what a great film it is. Go check this out if you haven't. And finally, I have the 2 samurai films box set of Kurosawa, Yojimbo and Sanjuro. And Sanjuro, the duel scene at the end is not only the shortest duel scene, but also the best duel scene, in my opinion. And that was it for my Criterion Blu-rays and my Criterion collection. I will be getting more, of course, because look at that. I still have to fill the space over here. But I think the next one I'm getting is the Satoichi set. That looks like an amazing set. I cannot wait to get that. That has to be the Blu-ray release of the year, without a doubt. So cannot wait to get that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.